It's Thursday, January 8th. Here's what we're working on this morning. An FBI investigation is now underway after an ICE agent shot and killed a woman in Minneapolis.
Investigation and cleanup efforts continue after two fires destroyed a pair of buildings in St. Catharines.
That's quickly coming back up. Oh no!
And that buzzer beater helped the Raptors rally past the Hornets. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, Brian. Your coughing fit is over. Mine just ended too.
I think so.
We're okay. We're okay.
I'm just gonna.
Tail end of this cold.
Yeah, I don't have a cold. It's just got a little tickle in my throat all of a sudden there for some reason. I don't know where it came from, but there we are. We're all set to go. All right, primed, repped, and ready. All right. How about, just for winks and giggles today, we have a bit of sunshine and milder temperatures. What?
I did see the sun yesterday morning. It was so exciting.
Yeah, a little bit of blue sky just kind of pinked out. It was like, ooh, it's still up there. It really is. It's still up. We're going to see a bit more of that sunshine for the day today. It's going to, right now it is fairly cloudy, but we will see clearing as the morning goes on. So we're going to get some sun today. And temperatures climbing. We're going to hit 7 degrees for the day today. We're sitting at +2 right now, so it's a mild start to the morning here. We won't have any precipitation today until later on tonight when the rain settles in. But along with that rain, and the rain will stick around tomorrow, we'll be in double digits tomorrow. Actually, we'll be in the teens tomorrow. So it's going to get a lot warmer. But today, sunshine coming, and it'll get milder at 7 degrees. Talk about that coming up. Looking at traffic, 403 Waterdown Road. We start with our exclusive camera. That's doing okay at the moment. Nothing to see there. Some MTOs, as we usually do. Midland Road, Stony Creek, doing fine. Toronto bound away from us. Same here, top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. Toronto bound now towards us at Burloak. No problems on the QEW major routes at the moment. We're doing okay. So we will keep you posted, though. We'll look at weather and traffic coming up. Right now, the news.
Okay, thanks very much. Big news in Minneapolis this morning, and it's affecting the entire United States. The FBI is investigating the fatal shooting of a woman by an immigration officer, and we warn you that some viewers may find the video we're about to show disturbing. So the 37-year-old woman was killed during an immigration enforcement operation. Federal officials say the officer acted in self-defense, while city leaders in Minneapolis say the shooting was reckless and avoidable. This video shows officers shouting and trying to force open the driver's door before the vehicle moves forward. An officer standing in front of the vehicle fired at least 2 shots at the driver, killing her. Hundreds of people showed up for a vigil last night for the woman, who was a mother of 3.
Shooting in a Mormon church in Salt Lake City has left 2 people dead and 6 others injured. Happened yesterday in the parking lot of a meeting house while a funeral was taking place inside. Police say all of the victims are adults. Investigators don't believe it was a targeted religious attack, but they are still looking for the shooter.
Australia's Prime Minister has called for a royal commission on anti-Semitism. The announcement comes after 2 gunmen killed 15 people at Sydney's Bondi Beach during a Hanukkah celebration. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says the commission will look into circumstances surrounding that shooting, but will also investigate the nature, prevalence, and causes of anti-Semitism in Australia. It will make recommendations for law enforcement and will try to fight the spread of extremism. A report is due this December, exactly 1 year after the Sydney shooting.
Toronto police have made an arrest in the shooting death on the University of Toronto's Scarborough campus last month, where 20-year-old Shivank Avasti was shot. Toronto police have shared what detectives think may have happened.
I believe in our investigation has revealed that he was there to kill somebody, is our belief. I'm not sure how he chose Shivank or what his ultimate plan was that day. We found no connection between these two. And like I said earlier, we believe that he was there to kill somebody. How he chose that person, I don't know.
Babatune Afawape has been charged with first-degree murder. Police are asking for help in tracking the accused movements on December 23rd, leading up to the shooting.
Toronto police have now identified the man who was killed on a GO bus near Yorkdale Shopping Centre. 46-year-old Osamwinjia Irorere was from Nigeria. Police say he was riding a bus parked near the Yorkdale Transit Terminal in North York when he was shot on Sunday evening. A 40-year-old man, Terrell Gibson, has been charged with first-degree murder. Police have not said if the two men knew each other.
Investigation and cleanup efforts continue at two buildings in downtown St. Catharines that went up in flames last month. One of them was the former St. Catharines Standard building that was destroyed by another fire a couple of weeks before. The old newspaper site went up in flames on December 5th. Multiple crews were on the scene to tackle the fire from above. Then on Boxing Day, fire crews were called back to Queen Street for a fire at the former St. Catharines Standard building and at a former vacant restaurant. Crews were able to get the fire under control at the restaurant, but the other one was more stubborn. And at the time, Fire Chief Dave Upper didn't provide a cause, but did say there was some form of combustible fuel source used to start the fires. Queen Street has been closed ever since for the ongoing demolition and cleanup of the building.
A couple with ties to gymnastics and cheerleading in Niagara Region has been charged with as part of a sexual assault investigation. It focused on several incidents between 2022 and last year, and Niagara police believe there may be more victims. 39-year-old James McManaman of Port Colborne has been charged with 3 counts of sexual assault. 29-year-old Jennifer Harrigan of Niagara Falls is charged with sexual exploitation of a young person. Both have bail hearings today in St. Catharines.
The new year means changes to Ontario's Employment Standards Act. The so-called Working for Workers Act requires companies with more than 25 employees to disclose whether they use artificial intelligence to select candidates. Companies must call candidates who apply for a job back within 45 days of an interview, and salary ranges must be posted within a bracket of $50,000. Companies will also no longer be able to demand Canadian-specific experience.
The United States has now seized 2 oil tankers linked to Venezuela, including a Russian-flagged vehicle in the northern Atlantic. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the tankers were seized as part of stabilization efforts for Venezuela, days after the U.S. military captured the country's president. He also suggested the seized petroleum would be sold as part of a deal under which Venezuela would provide up to 50 million barrels of oil to the states.
We're going to sell it in the marketplace at market rates, not at the discounts Venezuela was getting. That money will then be handled in such a way that we will control how it is dispersed in a way that benefits the Venezuelan people, not corruption, not the regime. So we have a lot of leverage to move on the stabilization front.
Russia slammed the seizure of the Russian-flagged Marinera, calling it a violation of freedom of the seas and calling for the crew to be returned home, although the Trump administration has signaled it may prosecute those sailors. Earlier this week, Prime Minister Mark Carney called on all parties to respect international law. And our Prime Minister is getting ready for a visit to China next week. It'll be the first visit by a Canadian leader since 2017, and it comes after years of trade and political tensions between our two nations. Carney met with Chinese President Xi Jinping in October at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit. Carney's expected to be in China January 13th to 17th. U.S. President Donald Trump wants a big boost in defense spending. In a social media post, Trump says he's going to propose the 2027 defense budget be $1.5 trillion. That is a 50% increase from this year's budget. Trump says that money will let him build what he calls the dream military and keep the U.S. safe from its enemies. The proposal comes after U.S. military strikes on Venezuela and the recent capture of its leader. Shortly after that, the White House said the president is discussing a range of options to acquire Greenland, including possible involvement by the U.S. military. One Ancaster man is a millionaire this morning after last night's Dundas Catch the Ace draw.
Mitch, are you sitting down? Yeah. In envelope 34, it is a black card. Oh. It is, in fact, and Sherry's never going to forgive me, the Ace of Spades.
After 35 weeks, the Ace of Spades has finally been caught. Mitchell Cowitz is the lucky winner after his name was drawn. He selected envelope number 34, where the ace of spades was hiding. He not only wins the progressive jackpot of more than $1.5 million, but also the weekly prize, which was over $172,000. So the total winnings, $1,700,181. A check will be presented next Wednesday, and there's going to be a celebration party as well, because of course lots of money goes to charity from this.
That is awesome. Sportsline, the Raptors took their modest 2-game winning streak into Charlotte against the Hornets, and it was a back-and-forth game with an epic ending.
Here we go! Look out! Score! The kid's got game! Hop diddly dee!
LaMelo Ball scored 15 points, including a left-handed layup with 1.6 seconds left in the contest to give the Hornets a 96-94 lead. The Raptors had trailed by 10 points in the fourth quarter and still had one last chance to grab the win.
That's quickly coming back up. Oh no! Emmanuel quickly wins it for Toronto!
Emmanuel quickly hit a 3-point buzzer beater as the Raps stunned the crowd and the announcer and beat Charlotte 97-96. It was I.Q.'s third three-pointer of the game, while Canadian R.J. Barrett scored a game-high 28 points. Toronto has now won 3 games in a row and 5 of their last 6. The Trae Young era in Atlanta is over. The Hawks have reportedly traded the All-Star guard to Washington for C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert. Young led the NBA in assists last season, but he's underperformed this year and is also battling the injury bug. One look at the CFL's transactions wire, and you'll see that the Hamilton Tiger Cats have released return man Isaiah Wooden and punter Nick Constantino, potentially to pursue an opportunity in the NFL. Wooden has had off-season workouts with the Browns, Jets, Broncos, Falcons, and Saints. Constantino has worked out with Cleveland and New Orleans. The Ticats have also added Wake Forest University quarterback Hank Bachmeier to their negotiation list. Meantime, for the second year in a row, the Tiger Cats have earned top marks in the CFL Players Association's annual report card. The CFLPA distributed a 78-question survey to all players, and 381 shared their experiences on everything from food to the treatment of their families. The Ticats earned an aggregate grade of B+, thanks to getting straight A's for football operations, facilities and equipment, strength and conditioning, team travel, and training camp. Only 2 F's were given, one to the BC Lions for nutrition and diet, the other to the Montreal Alouettes for the treatment of families. Alexandre Texier opened the scoring in the second period and added a couple of assists to help the Canadians beat the Flames 4-1 at the Bell Center. Rookie netminder Jacob Fowler made 28 saves, and Cole Caulfield scored his team-leading 21st goal of the season. Lawson Krause and John Marino scored in a span of 3 minutes, 21 seconds in the first period, and Karel Vejmelka made 33 stops as Utah downed Ottawa 3-1. It was a big day for the Mammoth. The win came hours after the NHL announced the team will host the 2027 Winter Classic at the University of Utah's football stadium. Now let's go to Brian with traffic.
All right, how about we slide you gently into this Thursday morning? We're looking at we will look at the QEW. This is the 403 in Waterdown Road. There's nothing to see there. It's as usual this time of the morning, so all doing fine. We have no collisions at the moment, which is good. Let's go to some MTOs, starting in St. Catharines. We'll look at what's happening here at the QEW at Martindale. Not a lot going on. And the roads aren't too bad this morning as far as being fairly greasy. No, they're pretty good. QEW at Midland Road is doing fine still. Fairview Street toward Brant Street, nothing east of Royal Windsor, all the way through Cawthra. Nothing happening at the moment. We did have a problem on the 427 just coming off the QEW, but that has just cleared, so better now. All right, to our temperature that we have as we start the day this morning. We're on the plus side. Yesterday we were +1. Today we're sitting at +2. Bit of a west-southwesterly breeze. It is fairly cloudy still. But wait, that sky will clear as the day progresses. So for school today, be prepared for a fairly sunny day. A little bit of cloud will linger, but the winds will be light, and look at that temperature. High of +7 for the day today in the sun. That ridge of high pressure is going to help to give us a southerly flow, and it's also going to clear up that sky just a little bit later on, and then the rain settles in. It'll start as showers overnight, and then it'll cycle into rain, possibly some drizzle for the day tomorrow, and it's going to stay wet for a couple of days. But is it going to be mild tomorrow? Today, though, mild still. 6, 7, 8 degrees, 5 for Peel. Into Toronto as well, but generally everybody's going to get some sunshine today. We'll lose it later on this evening. It'll become cloudy. Temperatures stay mild. Look at the overnight lows, 4 to 6 degrees, 5 again for Peel and Toronto. Some showers will settle in, and tomorrow temperatures 14 and 13 for Niagara, 13 and 12 to 11 for the rest of the Horseshoe, but we are going to have a fairly wet day with some rain in the forecast tomorrow. So out the door on the 8th morning of January, the temperature right now is +2, and the skies are fairly cloudy. And we'll check long range for the weekend coming up. Annette, Rick.
Okay, thanks very much, Brian. Coming up after the break, we're going to say good morning to Emily with a preview of what she has for us in Chit Chat. And in business news, there's a big drop in the number of flights that Canadian Airlines are making to the United States. Good morning, Emily. What's coming up in Chit Chat?
Hi, good morning. Hollywood's award season kicks off this Sunday with the Golden Globes. We'll have a breakdown of what you need to know. Bruno Mars is announcing a new album, his first in nearly a decade, if you can believe that.
Wow, it's been that long.
I know. And we could possibly have a new James Bond. I'm on board with who might be taking the role.
Okay.
I did have to ask what I would have seen him in, and then I was like, oh, yeah.
And now you can see him in the future.
100%.
Yes, going forward.
Yes.
Okay, thanks very much. Coming up in business news and overseas trading, the Canadian dollar is up just a bit to 72.03 cents U.S. Gold is down $24 an ounce. Oil is up 26 cents to $56.27 U.S. a barrel. Midday trading in Europe, London and Paris markets are down right now, but Frankfurt is up by 54 points.
On Asian markets, down across the board, with Tokyo dropping more than 800 points. At the close yesterday, the TSX was down 271 points. The Dow Jones also down. The Nasdaq posted a modest gain yesterday.
Canadian Airlines have sharply reduced their flights to the United States over the past year, with volumes falling more than 14%. Instead, airlines across Canada have expanded their service to the Caribbean and South America. Air Canada increased capacity to those regions by 20%, while WestJet saw an 81% year-over-year jump. Experts say political tensions and U.S. trade policies have cooled Canadian demand for American travel, pushing airlines to compete more aggressively in other markets. Schedules already show another 15% decline in cross-border flights early this year.
The Canadian office vacancy rate dipped last year for the first time since the pandemic as the return to office trend accelerated. The national office vacancy rate stood at 18% at the end of 2025. That's down from 18.7% a year earlier, though still much higher than the 10.9% rate at the end of 2019. The downward trend comes as employers increasingly mandate that workers head back to the office. Several of Canada's big banks pushed to have staff in office more starting last fall, while the Ontario government has told employees to return to the office 5 days a week as of Monday.
Economic growth in Canada is expected to slow to 1.5% this year, down from 1.7% in 2025. Deloitte Canada's chief economist, Don Desjardins, is cautiously optimistic that the economy is going to gain momentum in the second half of this year. She says a key trend to watch for is trade and investment, with a review of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Free Trade Agreement set for July.
Quick timeout. Brian is going to be back with a traffic update and a look at your warming 7-day weather forecast. Good morning.
All right, coming up, there it goes, 6:24 on the button. All right, let's check what's happening on the Skyway. Nothing going on the Burlington Skyway Bridge. That's the Burlington Skyway, Burlington side, going down toward North Shore Boulevard. Seeing some brake lights coming on, but that's just normal for this time of the morning. Burl Oak is getting a little bit busier from the last time we checked it, but still moving nicely. Isn't this fun? Deep breath. Yes, breathe in through your nose. And then exhale slowly. We feel much better now, don't we? Okay. All right, let's get to our temperatures. Let's check what we have at the moment. We're sitting at 2 degrees right now all the way around. Hamilton, Grimsby, Toronto, Mississauga sitting at 2. Way above seasonal to start a morning. Seasonal is -2 for a daytime high. Okay, that shows you how mild it is. -9 for the overnight low. Those are our sun times records for today. And yeah, we are going to see sun today. 3 degrees by the first bell this morning. We'll have a fair bit of sunshine. Skies will start to clear. And then all the way to 7 for after school. So that's the high for the day today, 7 degrees. 4 overnight tonight. But the rain is going to settle in tonight. It'll start as scattered showers and then develop into some heavier rain. Tomorrow it's going to be rain, but look at that temperature tomorrow. That's when the really mild air pushes in. 13 degrees tomorrow. Then the temperature starts to really cool off. I mean, 4 on Saturday. That's still way above seasonal, but we'll still get some rain on Saturday. Sunday, -1, so the temperatures chill out. We'll have some flurries. Back to some sun and 0 for Monday, and then it climbs a little bit as we get into Tuesday. That's your forecast, Annette, right?
Okay, thanks very much. Well, a new study suggests humans used poisoned arrows thousands of years earlier than previously thought.
10 arrowheads unearthed in South Africa in 1985 are believed to be about 60,000 years old. Traces of 2 different plant toxins were detected on 5 of them, making them the oldest known poison arrows. Previously, the earliest direct evidence of poison weapon use came from hunting tools that were about 7,000 years old. It's believed hunter-gatherers dipped the arrowheads in poison before using them to kill animals for food. The authors say this shows hunter-gatherers had advanced cognitive abilities because it requires cause and effect thinking. That is fascinating.
That
60,000
is
years.
a long time ago. It's amazing how they can do that with carbon dating.
Yeah.
I know if Brian had a few poison darts to shoot at the traffic cameras, not the operators,
they
but
would
the
have been
cameras.
launched
Yes.
years ago, I'm sure. Stay with us more to come after the break on Morning Live. We'll be dodging arrows, I'm sure.